defensive strike set, that uppercut's going to come in here, and then my hand's going to shoot away from me and up, and I'm going to drive the elbow up into position. Okay? Same position here as that extended outward. But here's that uppercut. I've got this uppercut here for the downward attack. I've got this uppercut here that I'm hitting the chin and rolling up into position, driving the head away for the arm break. And I've got this position here for lone kimono, like you were talking about. My outward, depending on the direction that the person is coming from, depending on their size, what I want is I want this bone right here to be straight in line with their attack. So if it's somebody large coming down in this direction, I'm going to go in line with their attack, in line with their attack on the same height as me, and in line with their attack if they're coming up from the bottom. Inward. Here's my inward up here, inward here, inward here. Soon as I get below this inward here, it becomes a downward. Same with that extended outward. I come in here and I do that extended outward. It can be up here, here, or here. When it's any higher than this position here, it becomes an upward. Same position. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the downward is the same. I can hit on the downward here, I can hit on the downward here, I can hit on the downward here. Reverse downward comes into the groin or lower intestines, comes into the lung meridian higher up, comes into the neck with the sleeper. Same motion of that downward. This is one direction, this is the other.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it gives you 3 different levels of attack on all of those.
Sweet. Okay. One more thing. Can I go over that angle of alignment when you're doing the punch and the elbow too?
Oh, when we go into the punch and the elbow?
Yeah.
So, as I'm going to do an elbow, if I'm going to punch straight across, my elbow is going to be on the same line as my punch. Same as this coming downward, as my fist comes down, my elbow is in the same line as my strike. Boom, boom.
Got it.
If I'm doing a downward elbow, I'm not going to come in and drop my body down. What I'm going to do is hit downward and catch the elbow on my way down. I'm not going to tuck my elbow into my shoulder when I'm doing a downward diagonal elbow because I don't want to be flapping this elbow. I want the point of that elbow to hit. So I'm going to hit with the elbow and then continue the line of my punch going down. Wait right here a second. The blade. If I come in with the blade and I come up to cut, I'm going to cut this way, and then I'm going to stick my elbow into the blood flow. Cutting across, sticking my elbow into the blood flow, cutting across, sticking my elbow into the blood flow. So it's the same position that you're using with a blade, just not, there's just no blade in it. When I go into offensive strike set, we've got here, bang, right? Offensive strike set with a blade tucks in this way into an uppercut, cutting this way. The next piece of it comes in, drops into that stab. The next piece of it, where you would normally go like this and roll your hand backwards, comes in and it cuts this way. Then the third piece of it rolls, or the fourth piece rolls over. I tuck my elbow in and stick that blade in. If you look at the line of the blade, defensive strike set, as it comes in, look at that blade, rolls up and sticks. Drops in, the elbow drops, sticks. Hit with the butt of the knife, turn the blade around, drop the blade into the body. Comes back to here, drops down. Now this blade is going to go downward at an angle. I don't have the blade straight back. I want to plant that foot to the ground with this motion. When I come back in, I'm hitting with the butt of the knife, coming back into this high chambered position. The punch down with the hand is here. The punch down with the blade sticks the blade in the body and cuts straight down basically from the diaphragmatic shelf down to the groin, where the blade comes in. And the blade is nothing more, it gives you a line of the energy. So it's a wider fist. Now when we go into using this blade, we don't fold this blade and cut with it. We're going to hit with that blade. As I come in to cut with this knife going to the throat, I'm not going to slice the throat. I'm going to punch with this blade. And then when it hits the bone, I'll allow the blade to slide past the bone and then recapture the bone.